Ubisoft's Prince of Persia trilogy for the last generation of consoles reinvigorated a dying PC franchise and reintroduced the character to an entirely new fanbase. Even though the most recent incarnation of the series was acclaimed both critically and publicly, Ubisoft decided to once again reboot the franchise. With a focus on impressive cel-shaded graphics and an all-new simplified control scheme, will the new Prince of Persia be able to follow in its predecessor's footsteps and reign supreme over adventure titles once more? The latest entry in the Prince of Persia lineage not only eschews in a new prince, but also an entirely new world and mythos. As the prince wanders out of a sandstorm, he runs across Elika, who needs his assistance getting to the temple where the Tree of Life resides. Once there, the two run into Elika's father, who cuts the tree, thereby releasing the evil being Ahriman from his prison. The world is thrown into darkness, and now Elika enlists the prince's help in restoring light to the world. Along the way, players will battle a handful of Ahriman's disciples while trying to heal fertile grounds, thus restoring power to the Tree of Life. The story itself is fairly simple, and as far as fantasy tales go, isn't very original. Despite that, this game goes to great lengths to make you care about the prince and Elika. The conversation mechanic enables players to go as in-depth with the relationship between the two as they want.
He died honorably.
You can't die honorably. You can just die. If he'd really
Across the 8 to 12 hours of gameplay, the prince and Elika share a complex relationship well worth witnessing. Learning the history of the lands and boss characters is also interesting and helps the title's rather rudimentary tale stand out. The world of Prince of Persia has an amazingly unique style. The game makes use of cel-shaded graphics, but instead of an animation feel, Prince of Persia is more like a painting come to life. Characters have wonderfully fluid movements, particularly the prince. His animations are among the best looking in any game to date and truly show off what the Scimitar engine can do. Both the prince and Elika are well written, and the voice work for both is commendable. While the prince has a bit of a western accent, it won't ever take you out of the game.
Presuming the great god of darkness doesn't just squish us flat.
Before everything is stricken into darkness, players are given a brief glimpse of just how vibrant and full of life the world was before Ahriman's release. As the prince and Elika restore the fertile grounds, the darker palette full of blues, blacks, and purples used to signify Ahriman's control gives way to lush landscapes, clear blue skies, and Babylonian architecture that will have you purely captivated. The level design is fairly linear, but it has some variation from land to land. Showcasing the prince's acrobatics is clearly what the layouts are created around, and once you see him in action, you won't mind one bit about not getting to choose your path. Prince of Persia has a very simple but deep control scheme. Both new and long-time gamers should delight in having a game that's easy to get into and should have no issue with the guiding hand the AI initially provides. Using just the most basic button presses, the prince is prompted to jump, climb, slide, fly, and swing across the different locales presented. Combat is just as easy with 4 types of attacks linked to the 4 face buttons. Any one attack is just fine, but chaining the right attacks together can allow for some pretty lengthy combos. If you're willing to experiment, the fighting system can get pretty complex. Battles do tend to get a bit repetitive though, especially boss fights. You'll fight each of the bosses 5 times, and you'll be asked to defeat them the exact same way, just in a different location. It's repetitive and slightly disappointing, but forgivable when weighing the rest of the positives. While traversing the world of Prince of Persia, there will be times you accidentally fall to your death. Instead of relying on a game over screen, Ubisoft has an excellent checkpoint system, where the moment your character dies, Elika rescues him, flinging the prince back to the last platform he passed before falling.
Just try to be more careful.
If he falls in battle, Elika will also resuscitate the prince at the cost of the enemy regaining some of their health back. If your character never really dies, the controller stays in your hand, and it's an interesting technique to keep gamers playing.
Don't die when I'm starting to like you.
The newest entry in the Prince of Persia series has a lot to like about it. The production values rival any other game to come out in recent years, and the gameplay is simple and intuitive. Even though there hasn't been a wealth of adventure titles out this year, Prince of Persia cements itself atop the list at the last possible moment. It may not be the game of the year, but it comes pretty close. A fresh start on a new console is just what this series needed. Hopefully, this is only the beginning. Thanks for watching, and be sure to check out the full text review on Gamervision.com.
We should just do this all day!